Beneath the sun's unforgiving gaze, nestled in the overlooked corners of a broken pasture, lies a grotesque testament to nature's indifferent cruelty, a horse ensnared in a hive of torment. This is no idyllic picture of equine grace. This is raw, unsettling survival. From its flank, a horrific beehive wound pulsates, swollen and festering, a grotesque mushroom of amber wax, and writhing bodies clutching at raw, angry flesh. The skin, once smooth and taut, now ripples with inflammation and stings of vibrant, angry red. Dead bees litter the ground, their tiny bodies scattered like crushed memories, while the hum of hundreds more drones a sinister chorus around this living monument to infestation. Bees, usually symbols of diligence and sweetness, here assume a darker role. The infestation begins when a colony, seeking shelter or driven out by environmental pressures, finds refuge in the moist, exposed tissue of a vulnerable creature. The horse, weakened or injured, becomes an unwilling host. Within this macabre symbiosis, the bees construct their wax fortress directly onto the horse's flesh, layering it with syrupy honey that seeps into wounds, promoting bacterial growth and inviting maggot infestation. The hive's architecture is a cruel scaffold, a honeycomb of misery where larvae pulse in crimson windows of skin, feasting not just on wax but on decaying tissue. The buzzing in the icy waters of the Arctic, a haunting sight emerges, a beluga whale, its once smooth skin marred by a grotesque barnacle wound. This is not just a simple blemish. It is a gruesome testament to the relentless grip of nature's most tenacious hitchhikers. As the camera zooms in, the viewer is confronted with a shocking reality. The beluga's skin is a battlefield, pockmarked with clusters of barnacles, each one a tiny fortress clinging to its host. These crustaceans, often mistaken for mere sea debris, are voracious parasites that latch onto the whale's body, feeding off its nutrients and leaving behind a trail of destruction. The barnacle infestation is not just a cosmetic issue. It can lead to severe infections, pain, and even death for the beleaguered beluga. Barnacles, with their hard calcareous shells, are the ultimate opportunists. They thrive in marine environments, seeking out surfaces to attach themselves to, and the smooth skin of a beluga whale presents an irresistible canvas. Once they latch on, they secrete a powerful adhesive that makes them nearly impossible to remove. As they multiply, they create a grotesque colony, their sharp edges digging into the whale's flesh, causing open wounds that can fester and become in the heart of the African savanna, where the sun blazes down and the air shimmers with heat. A haunting scene unfolds. A solitary leopard, a creature of grace and power, prowls through the tall grass, but this is no ordinary hunt. This is a tale of survival marred by a grotesque affliction. As the camera zooms in, the viewer is met with a shocking sight, a barnacle-like growth festering on the leopard's flank, a grotesque reminder of nature's darker side. This is not just a wound, it is a parasitic invasion, a horror that speaks to the fragility of life in the wild. The barnacle, a crustacean that typically clings to rocks and ships, has found an unlikely host in this majestic predator. It has burrowed into the leopard's skin, creating a gaping wound that oozes with infection. The sight is enough to make even the most hardened viewer recoil in disgust. Yet, this is the reality of life in the wild, where beauty and brutality coexist in a delicate balance. As we delve deeper into this unsettling narrative, we must confront the nature of parasitism itself. The barnacle, in its relentless quest for survival, has turned the leopard into a mere vessel, a living host for its own reproduction. This relationship is not one of mutual benefit. It is a parasitic nightmare. The barnacle siphons nutrients from the leopard's body, weakening it and leaving it vulnerable to further infections and predators. The leopard, once the apex predator of its domain, now bears the scars of this invasion, a testament to the harsh realities of survival in the wild. The wound, festering and raw, is a breeding ground for bacteria, in the icy expanse of the Arctic, where the sun barely pierces the relentless cold. A polar bear roams, a majestic creature of the frozen wilderness. But this bear is not just a symbol of strength and survival. It carries a dark secret, a grotesque affliction that tells a chilling tale of nature's brutality. As we draw closer, the sight is both captivating and horrifying. A barnacle wound, a gruesome testament to the relentless grip of marine life on this land-dwelling giant. The bear's once pristine white fur is marred by a cluster of barnacles, their hard calcified shells protruding grotesquely from its skin. a stark reminder of the harsh realities of survival in a world where every creature is both predator and prey. Barnacles, those seemingly innocuous crustaceans, are notorious for their ability to latch onto any surface, from rocks to ships, and now, tragically, to our polar bear. These tiny organisms, which thrive in the cold waters of the Arctic, have found an unwelcome host in the bear's thick skin. The infestation begins innocently enough. A few barnacles settle on the bear's body, seeking refuge and nourishment, but as they multiply, they create a horrific spectacle. Each barnacle, with its hard shell and sticky appendages, burrows deeper into the bear's flesh, feeding on the nutrients it can extract. The bear, in its struggle for survival, becomes a living canvas for these parasites, a grotesque display of nature's unyielding cycle of life and death. As we observe this bear, we cannot help but feel a sense of revulsion mixed with fascination. The barnacle wound is not just a physical ailment, it is a symbol of the interconnectedness of life in the Arctic ecosystem. The bear, once a powerful predator, is now a victim of its own environment, a stark reminder of how the balance of nature can